It's the end of March and I'm here now to start choosing books for April. So I read all 3 of the books I drew out of mugs last month, and 2 of them I really enjoyed and one of them I really did not enjoy. Now I'm here to, I decided in April to do this a little differently. I don't want to just read all the books all month and then just like blurt out everything at the end, because it's kind of a lot to ask of my brain to like remember every single thing I read all month. So I think this month I'm going to draw one book now and then like start reading it and like vlogging that experience, and then based on that, how that's going, like I might read the whole entire thing and then draw the next one, or I might, like, I don't know, it depends on if I need a break or, but I decided to choose from the like best category. This is like the really excited to read books that I own. So yes. Okay, let's see what it is. Oh, okay, I'm really excited I got this because I originally was in the mood to read a horror actually after what I just went through. Okay, so I chose House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. I've been really wanting to read this ever since it came out actually. And I read Year of the Witching by this author, which I think was her debut, and it was excellent. I loved it so much. So when she came out with, like, this is supposed to be some type of vampire story that she came out with, I think the year after Year of the Witching. I can't remember exactly what. Yeah, so I'm very excited to read this. And it's so funny because I just read a book last month with vampires in it. Then I read 2 horror books, and horror is like my comfort thing. Like, I find horror very comforting, and that's that. But yeah, so Okay, the first book I read was House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. And I pulled this from my mug, which was the most highly anticipated mug. And the reason it was most highly anticipated is that in 2020 I read her debut, The Year of the Witching, and I absolutely loved it. It was a 5-star book for me. And it was extremely, the setting was just so, like, real and gripping that, like, it just really, really had an effect on me and, like, lasted with me. And I thought it was just, like, so well written, the writing and everything. The story was interesting. And then, so that's why I was highly anticipating this so much. And I did enjoy it. As you can see, I annotated it a bit. So this is a book about a young girl named Marion who is living in extreme poverty and just trying to survive day by day. And she lives with her abusive brother. And one day she gets this opportunity to go to the north and serve a house and a countess as a blood maid, which means that she'll have to be bleeding into a bowl or a cup or even being, like, bitten and directly drank out of, and, like, having the countess drink their blood, like, on a regular basis. And it's like, that sounds horrifying, but to her, it sounds a lot better than the life that she's in. So she is eager to go, and that's what happens. And she goes and starts serving in this, there's all these houses. I thought the houses thing was really interesting, and, like, all the different houses, I love the names of them, and there was little quotes from different blood maids at the beginning of every chapter, which I thought was cool. Yeah, this was good, but it just didn't do for me what The Year of the Witching did. Like, I really, really liked the ideas and the plot, honestly, but I felt like, I don't know, maybe I'm not sure what I was expecting, but it just didn't quite hit, like, I don't know if, like, the writing, like, the relationships, you know what I mean? Like, I guess, yeah, I don't know. But I liked the idea, like, of the blood maids. Also, I have found that, like, the whole bleeding thing was making me squeamish, and, like, it was making it take longer for me to read. Like, I could only read, like, small sections at a time, which is just, like, a personal thing and it's, like, obviously, like, the whole entire thing is about blood and drinking blood, so. The other thing I found really intriguing about it is, like, the countess and, like, her whole family, like, they're these creatures, like, it was, like, they were not just, like, oh, I'm straight up a vampire, like, it sounds vampiric, but, like, it was weird, like, they were just weird creatures, like, I don't know what yeah, and I knew something, yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but, yes, and I would give this a, now that I've talked about more things I liked about it, I feel like I should move it up to a 4. I had it at 3.75, but I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars out of 5. I think I just had it on had too high hopes of it based on Year of the Witching. But yes, I also need to reread that so that I can, because 2020 was quite a while ago, and I need to see if I still feel the same way about it. Okay, and then the next book I read on audio, which was The Nestlings by Nat Cassidy, or just Nestlings. It's just Nestlings. Yeah. Nestlings. This, for me, was excellent. I read Mary when it came out. and annotated it. Let me see when this came out. I can't remember exactly. Mary was excellent. I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars. 2022. And then Nestlings, like, come on. The covers are crazy. Huh. Okay. I can't remember when this one came out. Should I look at this one as well? When did this one come out? 2023, the very next year. Okay. Nestlings. This book is about a family, a couple who are kind of young. They just had a baby after struggling and going through fertility treatments, and the wife, Anna, she ended up becoming paralyzed. Her legs, like, I think just her legs were paralyzed from giving birth. And then, yeah, it was just like, the quote on the back says, "Nestlings is so fucking good, it makes me mad." That's how I feel. It's really, really good. It's just really good. So it's about, like, this, yeah, it's about the couple. They move in, that happens, they move into a new place, which is, like, where this whole horror story takes place. This old historic building in New York City, I think. And yeah, the building is really, it's weird, it's creepy, like, there's a weird, like, hum coming from it, like, this book is scary, but this book is, like, very, it's about, like, very scary creatures, like, they're kind of vampires, but not really. Oh, interesting theme. It's like my other book. Yes, but it's, like, these creatures, it's, like, it's very, very creepy. But it's about, like, very, very real, like, human struggles and emotions as well, and, like, struggles with suddenly becoming disabled, and struggles with suddenly becoming a caretaker for your partner, which I didn't know how I felt about, like, him writing about disability. Like, as soon as I started reading it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. But then at the author's note at the end, he specifically talked about how, like, he wanted to be super respectful and, like, cautious about how he wrote this, and he like, talked to, like, a bunch of disabled people to give him advice, and yeah, and how, like, he wrote this whole story based on his own experience, kind of, like, of how, like, his wife suddenly became disabled, and then he suddenly became a caretaker for, like, his whole family and her. So, because it was such, like, a personal experience, like, you can tell, like, he knew what he was talking about. Like, it just felt, like, extremely real, but it felt, like, well done. Like, it was sensitive, it was well done to me, in my opinion. Oh, right, and, like, the feeling of, like, resenting your own child, which is very interesting. Yeah, the funny thing is that the whole time I was listening to this on audio, I kept thinking to myself, like, oh, I just wish I had this book. I want to annotate it so bad. Like, I wish I could be annotating it. And then I came upstairs, and I saw it sitting on my shelves. I felt so stupid. But I'm so happy to have it. I'm definitely going to reread it, because it's so good. Yes, love Nat Cassidy. Pretty much it's gonna be like an auto by author for me, I think, at this point. The one other thing is, I've started this, We Were the Mulvaneys by Joyce Carol Oates. This I drew out of the Books I Have No Idea About mug, and the only thing that made me keep this book actually and give it a chance is that I didn't know anything about this author, but I saw her drag Elon Musk for absolute filth on his own platform so eloquently and so brutally that I was like, maybe I should read her book. And she's actually written a ton of books, as I've learned since starting this and looking into her a little bit more. Yeah, this is supposed to be like heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, and everything else. It's about family, it's about this family. They have a farm. They're like rural, kind of poor American white family with I think 4 kids. Maybe 4 kids. This has been a very interesting reading experience so far. I'm only 100 pages in actually, and I've been annotating a lot. Her writing is just very, very unique and interesting. I don't know how I feel about the story as a whole. I'm gonna know more probably in 150 more pages maybe. But it's told from the perspective of the youngest son, which I find really, really interesting. I'm gonna talk about this more in my next vlog. I'm going to be vlogging, please. More in detail, I will talk about some of the lines that I found particularly touching and real. Yeah, but he just describes his family, each member, and kind of what their daily life was like. Also, there's this thing that happens to his sister, which I think I know is probably going to be sexual assault related, which is filling me with dread, which is also making me read this slower. Also a horrific thing like that happened to another girl. That is, I hope that there is consequences for that, hopefully further on in the book. Yes. You can see the farm on the cover. When I read this book, I feel like I'm reading a piece of literature, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to finish this month because I don't want to rush myself through this. It's quite, I don't know, it takes a certain mood to get through, to be reading this. It's a little bit heavy. It's a little, I don't know, it's just a little bit much. So I definitely want to take my time. Yes, but now I want to choose, because that's the only physical book I'm reading at the moment, and I need more options. So I'm going to choose more books. I think I'm going to first choose... Oh wait, this is the super excited one. Wait. Oh, this is the medium. I think I'm going to choose maybe a couple medium excited ones because I'm just really feeling like I need to be reading my books faster so that I can potentially get them off my shelves and get rid of them. This one's literally caught on my finger like this. So this is gonna be the one. Let's see. The Lost World. Oh my god. That's so exciting. Okay, hang on. Okay. I've got The Lost World by Michael Crichton. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited I picked another Michael Crichton so soon because this is quite long. Okay, hang on. Because I was thinking I really want to do a reread of Jurassic Park before I read The Lost World. And I have these nice little old mass market paperbacks. But these... We'll have to see if I can manage this because these are both quite long. And I did want to pick something else, but maybe I'll just read these two and switch in with the Mulvaney's. Plus I have another nonfiction okay, I have another couple of audiobooks I'm reading too from the library, so yeah, I think I'm gonna be set for the month with these. Which is kind of annoying because I only picked one thing. And I have so many more. Should I just pick one more to try to read? Ooh, okay, this is a horror, so that makes me happy. Okay, The Fisherman by John Langan. I have no idea what this is about, but it's like praised all over the internet as like one of the greatest horror novels of all time and one of the scariest. So that's why I got it, and that's why I want to read it. The Fisherman. Huh. Okay, it takes place in upstate New York, and it's two widowers who hang out together and fish. Interesting. Okay. Literary horror. Oh, Paul Tremblay. Paul Tremblay's a little bit hit or miss for me, but I do enjoy him overall as an author, and I do typically read like pretty much everything he publishes. Like I'm behind, like I'm a few years behind actually, but I'm going to catch up. Okay, here's my books I'm going to read. Plus my audiobooks that I'll tell you about along the way. Okay, thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in my vlog that I'm going to be posting. Okay.